Today I want to show you Xtensio in depth and walk you through all the features. Xtensio is an online collaboration platform for living documents. We call these documents folios. A folio is a new format. It is basically the best parts of a web page, a document, and a presentation combined together. It helps teams start from an idea and iterate all the way to a deliverable without leaving the platform. It supports online collaboration. All these documents are responsive, they're stunning, and it's very easy to get started. So I want to walk you through not only how to create these documents, but also ways you can use Xtensio to streamline all your operations across teams. It doesn't matter if you're a team of one or if you're enterprise. There's like Xtensio is utilized by hundreds of thousands of teams all around the world, and we hope that at the end of this video you'll get a better understanding of how it can help your business too. So this is your dashboard. We're going to start from the top, and I'm going to walk you through everything as briefly as I can, and always you can reach out to us through help@xtensio.com. If you have further questions, we're always happy to jump on a call and explain things further and help you utilize Xtensio in the best way that it can for you. All right, at the top, when you sign up for Xtensio, you get your own space. In this case, it's demo.xtensio.com. It's a customizable space. Xtensio is very big on branding, so it's built as an extension of your business actually. So when you build an Xtensio workspace, in pretty much no time you get your subdomain, your company.xtensio.com. You can customize this place with your logo, which replaces our logo as well as the logo inside our editor. So you can utilize when teams are using it's basically branded for them. You can also bring in your colors and your fonts. So all together this becomes basically an extension of your own brand. So when you log in, these are your folios. This is the home section of your dashboard. This is where your folios are going to live. You're going to see the recent ones here. We haven't created anything here. You can search for templates here, but also you can browse through the collections that we put together that helps companies get a glance of what they can do with Xtensio. Every template again is instructional, and it helps you modify everything with just a few clicks. The second tab is the templates tab. This is where everything is categorized into different roles, from UX design to sales to strategy. This helps you and your teams work together on these documents, even if they haven't done any of these exercises before. This is also where your custom templates live. So like if you like something that you made with Xtensio, you can save it as a custom team template, and then your team can keep using it for future iterations. A lot of times I see teams start with Xtensio templates like a user person or a pitch deck, and then modify it to their needs with their fonts, colors, copy additional sections they may need, etc., and then save it as their custom template, which then becomes available for their entire team. You can actually publish your own templates as well, and I'm seeing now more and more people actually also sharing these templates on paid platforms and monetizing their templates for all Xtensio templates as well. So you can take one of the exercises that you have in anywhere, maybe a notepad, maybe Microsoft Word or Google Doc, and turn it into an Xtensio template, then sell it on places like Gumroad. A lot of people teach with Xtensio. It's also a great place where you can launch your templates and then establish yourself as a thought leader while sharing your knowledge. The next step is the image library. This is where your brand assets are. We give a lot of space, even on the free plan, to host your brand images, like your logos, maybe your executive theme, profile pictures, maybe product pictures, etc. The stuff that you're going to need reusing all the time in your presentations, documents, and landing pages. You can upload your own images, obviously, and then we also have a built-in image library which has more than 2 million images, so you can search for anything that's going to help you make a better case in your documents. Next one is the style guide. You can bring your colors and fonts to Xtensio. The advantage of doing this is, one, it really speeds up creating branded collateral, but if you're also using it as a team, you can limit these colors and fonts to your brand colors and fonts and remove all the other ones. That way all your team members are bound to use the colors that and the fonts that you provided for them, meaning you can keep creating content and you keep creating deliverables without worrying about brand consistency. This is a great way to keep your brand consistent as your company grows. One of the nifty things that Xtensio does is you can actually even grab your colors from your website. Let me show you as an example. Put in your domain name, say get colors. It's going to go grab the colors from our homepage, and then we'll be able to select the ones that we want to use in the editor for all our team members. And I can now update my existing colors or replace my entire color scheme with this. And the same goes for the fonts. We support Google fonts, so you can search for Google fonts and add them to the editor, or you can also upload your custom font. You are also able to upload your custom color swatch as well. So it's a collaboration environment, which means you can invite your team members and admins. There are a couple of different roles in Xtensio. You can add admins, team members, and guests, assuming you're the owner. Admins obviously have administrative rights for managing team members, etc. Team members can create their own folios and invite others to collaborate, but the guests, available only on some plans, lets you invite external users, and it's a free user type. The guests can work on folios with you or your team members, but they cannot create their own. Collaboration happens on different levels on Xtensio. You can collaborate on a folio level, which I'm going to show you in a second, but you can also create collaboration folders, which are essentially workspaces where people come in and they automatically have access to all the folios under that folder, which we're going to go into more details soon. And just to finish this top bar, we have a complete help section, help.xtensio.com, so you can look for answers to common questions there. You can always reach out to us from the chat bubble within the app, and we also have videos. This video probably is going to be placed here once it's published as well. You can also find some case studies, some past webinars, some new features added, etc. on this help section. As things happen in your workspace, they're going to be shown as notifications. So when somebody is added to a team, when somebody is removed, when somebody creates a new folder, when when something is deleted, you'll get notifications, etc. All right, let's dive in, because I think the most fun in Xtensio is actually the editor. So we're going to create a new folio here, and we're going to, for the sake of this demo, we're going to create a blank folio. So I'm going to just call it demo, and then we're choosing the folder that we want to put this in. In this case, I have one folder only. I'm going to put it there. It's my main folder, and then we create the folio. So again, folio is a hybrid new format that encapsulates a web page, a document, and a presentation in one. Some advantages of folios: it's a drag and drop environment, so you can really create visual documents with it. They're responsive, so they would look good on any device, and then because they're living documents, they're interactive and they're always up to date. And let's dive in and I'll show you what I mean. Folios are pageless, meaning as you add content, your sections will get longer. This is different than your typical PowerPoint presentation, because I mean, let's face it, it's always hard to fit content on some slides where slides don't really matter, because people are going to view it on a screen and they'll be able to scroll. So if you need still set sizes for your page sections or pages, you can do that by switching to a page version here, and that's going to give you your conventional classic slides view, where you can choose the slide size and then you're bound to that size without resizing. But by default, Xtensio folios are boundless, meaning they'll get bigger, longer, they're flexible, and as you need them to be. All right, from the top, this is where you go back home to dashboard. You can click and change the name here if you want. You can add people, so anybody on your team can be added here. You can also invite people from here, so may that be a team member, admin, or a guest. And we're going to come back to these sharing options once we have a little bit more content to show that, and notifications and help, etc. I should also mention the main menu. This is where you change your account settings, change your team settings, manage email notifications, etc. As you can see, I have a bunch of different workspaces. You can be a part of multiple workspaces on Xtensio, and you can switch between team workspaces here. We use Xtensio for everything for building Xtensio. So we have different teams. This is actually the agency who started Xtensio. So agency uses Xtensio extensively for client work, for proposals, for reports, etc. We have one team here. I just want to give you some real life example, because without Xtensio we wouldn't be able to build Xtensio. We have product.xtensio.com, which is our product dashboard. This is where we put together specs and also where we create reports for our growth. And this is where I do basic wireframing from our pricing pages to our onboarding flows, etc. So it's very powerful for product managers. I'm not only the founder, but I'm actually hands-on the product manager at Xtensio. So I use Xtensio for ideation. I use Xtensio for collecting input. I use Xtensio for collaborating with my team, and I use it for also documenting our process. Team is able to use our very rough ideas, then iterate through them to get to a solid plan, and then follow that plan to launch something using Xtensio's living document capabilities. Next, we have here just an example. We have our content board. This is where we create all our content, from blog posts to the templates, the how-to guides, etc. So we basically not only work on the copy, but we work on the design as we're starting with an idea, getting to a deliverable. A usual process that I've been seeing for the last 15-20 years is that a project in any company starts with an email or in a meeting, and then it goes into a document of some sort, maybe Google Docs or a Word document. Then somebody puts together what needs to go into the design. Then it goes to a designer. There's back and forth, a lot of email attachments. Then it gets launched and it's final and it's written on stone. It can't be changed. With Xtensio, actually all these steps are merged together. Everybody can collaborate together, and because you have your style guide and images and brand assets all together, it really speeds up all your operations pretty much. And everybody is in the know at all times, because there is no back and forth, there is no email attachment chaos. Anyways, we're in the demo team now, and we have other ones for outreach, for some personal projects, you name it. So anyways, back to our editor. So Xtensio folios are divided into sections. In this case, we have one section, and inside sections we place modules. Let's start with one section and talk about that first. They're flexible, so I can just make this smaller or larger. It supports a very granular grid, but as you move things, we also have guides that help you place things. So in this case, we're seeing a 6-column guide, and as you go in the midpoint for these things, you'll see additional guides that help you place things in the right place. And once you have multiple modules, you'll see additional guides that help you align things better too. So this, on the left, you see a section menu. So we can change the main color for this section, meaning all the titles and all the graphical elements would follow this main color. It's a great way to change a section's color scheme with just one click. We actually have a global color, main color option on the toolbar, which changes the whole document's color scheme with just one click. And as you can see, these colors are the ones in the style guide, meaning if I update my style guide by either manually or by picking colors from my website, I can use those. I can match any document to my colors with just one click. Anyways, going back to the section menu, we can change the section background here. I can choose colors. I can choose from free photos or from my library. Obviously, I can upload my new images as well, and these are the ones, those are already added to my library, and I can use any of these images as a background for my sections or my modules, or I can add them as image modules, which I'm going to show you in a second. For now, let's go to an abstract tab and choose something as a background for this document. Again, like there are at this point more than 2 million images, so we'll just pick something for now, but you have the option to choose anything you like. So the image is selected, it's imported into your document and your workspace. Now we're able to go in and choose the portion that we want to show. Well, this size depends on the section, and then we can adjust it later. And I said background, and that becomes our section title. So we're going to call this demo folio. As you can see, when I highlight, or like when I go into any text module, we're in a text module now, this top bar turns into a text editor. This is everything you know. So like you can change the size, you can change alignment. Let's make this one smaller and center align it. And well, maybe the color is a little bit boring, so let's change that to something a little bit more bright, like this. Okay, I'll live with it. And then on the text bar, you can mark something as headings, etc., which then helps you when you're getting stats or when you're creating a table of contents. But you also have additional features, like you can add lists. You can, if you're familiar with HTML, you can edit the HTML code. We have a comprehensive icon library inside the text editor, so you can choose icons to include in the text module or clear formatting. So let's leave it just like that for now, and let's put it in the middle. So this is and I'm going to resize this. As you can see, like I can resize it from any corner. All right, so like now let's add, I want this a little bit darker. It bothers me as a designer. So okay, and double clicking on any area is also going to show you the add module pop-up. Let's add a new section and explore these modules. Xtensio is very powerful because it has 15 different kinds of modules to make any business case, internally or externally. And these are interactive modules, meaning it's going to increase engagement on your deliverables when used correctly. You can add images, so we're just going to add module image. We can drag drop, we can double click, or we can open this pop-up. So let's choose an image here again, like let's put this bird here for maybe, and then we can place it anywhere we like. Let's put it on the right. And now I'm going to add a video. Xtensio supports pretty much all major video providers: YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, you name it. And it's very easy to embed videos. You just go to your video. So we'll just go open that and then grab the URL, and then we go to the video module again and paste in the URL, and Xtensio is going to create a video module inside your document, just like that. So let's put it here. Let's create another section, and this one I want to as you can see, now that we have more than one sections, we can change the order of these sections. We can copy sections to other documents, move sections to other folios. It's very flexible, and with these dots I can see the length of this folio and navigate to the section that I need very quickly as well. Also, a small pro tip, which is not so obvious: when you double click on these arrows, it just resizes to the minimal possible height, so you keep your section heights at check. Let's add a table. Tables are pretty straightforward but used basically with cells and columns, but we also have additional column types like the check marks, we have ratings, and we have labels here. So I can just, and every field I can just go type in, right? So and you know, in this case I need to change the color. I can mark things as I go. I can play with the labels, add new labels, etc. So this is very powerful if you're doing project management inside your document as well. So let's make this a little bit higher and add a new section. And here we're gonna add multiple task lists. Task lists can be utilized in different ways, but you're able to mark items according to next, in progress, and completed, and you'll see the progress bar as you complete items. But one of the and while we're at it, let me show you this as well. You can, and this is the module menu, right? Every module has its own menu where you can change the background, the main color scheme, and they all have their special features built in them. For example, this is add, where I can add more items to this module. In this three dots menu, I can show borders, duplicated, copy module, and paste in another section. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. Now actually I'm creating basically a Kanban board inside my document, and I can stack them like this, and maybe call this one, maybe it's per person, maybe it's the copywriter, designer, and then developer, and you basically move items between them, or you can change the color, order of things. And if you want to differentiate this further, you can change the color scheme. Oops. Let's go maybe. So now we have a very distinct tiny project management Kanban board inside our document. We're used to being documents inside Kanban boards, but it's very, very powerful when you start placing your little project management Kanban board inside your document. I use this a lot for building features. It helps me make a list of things need to be done, things that are being done, and things that are being completed. Let's keep exploring these modules. You can add buttons on Xtensio, so I'm just gonna put CTA as call to action, and then move it in the middle, and then I'm gonna resize this. It's a chunky big, maybe too big, button that can be linked to another folio or an external source. And let's change the color of this background to differentiate this section. Maybe something like this. A new section. I could just put everything in one section, but this, as you can see, helps me create a good flow of the document, kind of like using as chapters of a story. Okay, embed. This is a big one. Xtensio lets you bring in all sorts of media inside your content. So we saw some examples of the video, but you can also do social posts from like Twitter, Facebook, etc. You can bring in presentations, slide shares, maps, SoundCloud or Spotify, audio files. Basically, if it's available on the web publicly or shared publicly, you can, without authentication, you can put it here. And we have further authenticated integrations in the works, which are going to be launched very, very soon. So that's embed, and you can also embed your own websites here, which creates basically a Pinterest kind of experience. You put in any link, then you grab the image that you want to show and modify the title and description and embed that as a card on your content, just like that. I think the reason my copy is coming like this is because of my default text color being a light color. So let's go ahead and actually fix that. Go to star guide, see this star, it's showing me that that's my default color. So I'm going to make my new default this dark color. So moving forwards, I'm going to see darker color on my text fields. But for now, let's change that like this. Right. I mean, this supports again any publicly available website or web page, for that sake. So let's, for example, grab CNN and then embed that URL. See what happens. So we can just embed it like this, move it around, and now I can create basically a board. This is good, for example, if you're providing examples from the web to somebody internally, or maybe you're putting together a mood board for a client. It becomes very powerful as you build examples and references from the web inside your documents. In another section, I'm not going to go into too much into the charts, but we have pie charts, scale charts, bar graphs, line graphs. So let's just add one of each so you can see what that looks like. And I'm going to actually add this one more time, because you can also utilize this bar graph as a line graph too. So you just go here and switch it to line. And all these, they're, you just click and adjust all these bars. Anyway, you can type in information as well. And let me show you what I meant by changing the main color for a section. So I'm just going to go to the main section color, and with one click now, I'm able to brand all this section. Do we have to? Oh no, let's put this here so we have a little bit more organization. Right. As you can see, as I'm aligning stuff, I see guides that help me visually. Right, and we have labels. So these are good for marking things and categorizing them. and social links. So you can basically have your icons that go to your profiles. If this is a landing page or proposal, a pitch deck, that's very valuable, and that includes your website as well. So I'm just going to use Xtensio.com as an example. I'm just going to make this smaller. And there are some alignment options here. So we have our link here, just a simple one that gives you the idea. And let's also put together, well, maybe we need this table of contents here. So I'm just going to move this here below, and I'm going to add a table of contents here. So this goes through all your H tags, and then, you know, as we build, I mean, we don't have a lot of copy in this folio, but as we build our copy using H tags, this helps you create an automated and always up-to-date table of contents. And lastly, you can capture emails with Xtensio. So this is a very simple form where people can put in their emails, and you can just add a text on top of it and say, stay in touch. I'm going to centerline this. And now, when I share this document or portfolio, and as people put in their emails I'm going to see how many responses we have, and then I'm able to download a list of those responses. Okay, so those are the modules briefly. They all have different superpowers, and they all have their own special mini features built in them. So I invite you to explore them on your own. But on the right side, we have a couple of more things to cover here. So everything is always up to date on Xtensio, meaning Xtensio auto saves all your versions on all devices. This is a real-time collaboration environment, so people would be editing at the same time from different places, from different devices. Everything is synced in real time, and Xtensio saves revisions as you go. When you click on your timestamp, you'll see all those revisions, and then you can add notes to the revisions or revert back to one. You can also see the progression of your document by previewing these older revisions as well. Revisions are kept up to a year, meaning if you have some different milestones, or like this one we sent for a review, this one was sent to the client, this is how we started, however you want to name it, you can add your notes and to keep it basically a log of everything that's changed on your document. You can access your image library, your style guide here. We show the main folio color. Let's make it all red and bright with one click. So that's pretty straightforward. And then we saw the folio settings. The last thing I want to show you is the engagement analytics. Because we didn't share this yet, we're not going to see much here, but let me go you through it very briefly. You can download your content as a PDF or PNG. That's very expected for tools like this. But when Xtensio really starts shining, when you start sharing your work with links. Links are always up to date. You can, when you send an attachment, it's done. You cannot take it back. But with links, you can, kill this link or add a password to it, which I'm going to show you in a second, and cut somebody's access to it easily. They're responsive, so this folio, when viewed on mobile devices, all the modules are going to stack up, and it's going to look like a microsite instead of a presentation that really shrunk down so much that nobody can read anything. So they're mobile friendly, and on top of all that, when you share it with the link, you get engagement analytics. This is one of the best analytics in the market because it gives you a lot of details. Let me show you briefly what I mean. So this one obviously is not shared yet. This is private, so we're not collecting any data for this one. But Once it starts collecting data, you'll be able to see date views per day or per week or per month, how many unique visitors have seen it, how much time on average they've spent on it, how much of your folio is being viewed on average. You'll see a breakdown of sections as well, meaning each section, how on average how much time people are spending on each section, where these people are coming from, what devices they're using, what they're clicking on, what is your click rate, what is the breakdown of all clicks, which links are being clicked, etc. And it's even more powerful when you dive into individual views. So we capture anonymously if they're not logged into Xtensio, anonymously if they're logged in with their name. We show you how much time a visitor has spent on your folio, which sections they have seen, how much they've spent on particular section, how many total times they visited this document, where are they from, and what device they've been using, etc. So there's a lot of information that's built into these analytics once you start sharing your content with links. These are updated very frequently, and you also get notifications. For example, if you share a link and to an investor, let's say as a startup, and the investor sees it, then you get a notification. Somebody viewed your folio. Now you can come back and check out these stats to see if that investor has shown interest, and if he has, in which parts, for how long, etc. So it's very, very powerful. So, and on these three dots, finally, on this folio editor, we have access to some of the features that we talked about, and we were also able to save it as a template, transfer this ownership to somebody else. If you're, for example, a consultant or a designer, like you get a project to some level, and then you can transfer its ownership to your client. So moving forward, basically that's your deliverable. Now that we have some content, let's take a look at some sharing options here. Download, most straightforward one. You can export Xtensio folios as PDFs or PNGs, and because they're pageless by default, this will be the length of the document. It makes it basically a website in a document where they can just scroll and view the whole thing. And if you, again, if you want to change the settings, you can update the folio settings and make it paged, then you'll get a paged export. Next one is present. This is quite unique to Xtensio as well, even though these sections are different heights and different lengths. When you go into present, each section becomes a full screen presentation like this. So now I have this folio that I can use in a Zoom call or in a meeting, and before I deliver it, maybe I can walk people through it on a Google Meet, etc. So it goes into full screen with just one click. And next, the link sharing, which comes with a lot of options inside it. In total, there are, I think, 9 different ways you can share your work from Xtensio. So you do the work one time and you're able to share it in really different ways, depending, and in a lot of times in multiple ways. Maybe you just walk through your work in the presentation mode, then deliver a link, and then you also attach a PDF as a reminder in an email. Everything is private by default in Xtensio, so only you and your collaborators can view and edit, which means you can add individual collaborators if you want to give them edit access. You can also turn link sharing on, and here anyone with the link can view it as a web page or slides in this case, and then you can copy this link. But you can also customize this link to make it even more memorable. So like maybe it's the demo-folio, and let's save this name. Now I can even tell this to somebody on a phone call, and they'll be able to go there instead of like giving them a hard code to remember. You can also add passwords, and when you assign a password to your folio, then It's another way to cut access, but you just change the password and that person cannot access this anymore. But let's copy this link and I'll open an incognito window and I'll show you what that looks like. So you just send the link and they'll see the exact same thing we've been building without the editor part. So now it's a web page basically that we built, and this is responsive. So meaning like, you know, like it's gonna adjust to whatever size we put this. For example, on mobile, it would look like this. All right, going back to our editor, once you turn on link sharing, you can also grab the embed code and put it on any other web page or website. For example, we use this for our press pages where we have a press mentions or press kit folio, and that folio is embedded on our WordPress site. So whenever there's something new about press, then we just go update the folio and that's reflected on our website. I also see a lot of teams use this on their company wikis and portals, or project management tools like Microsoft Teams or Confluence. You're able to embed this on other web pages that may be or may not be publicly available. And lastly, you can share it on social as well, once this is publicly shareable. We've seen this in other places as well, but you're able to save any Xtensio folio as a team template, which lets your team members and admins start new documents from the version that you just saved as a template. And finally, as I was mentioning at the beginning, you can publish this as a public template and let your users use it. If you're a teacher, maybe there's a special kind of template that you build that you want your students to start with to complete an assignment. If you are a consultant, maybe it's a strategy document, or maybe you're in SEO and it's a checklist that you are distributing for people to get value from. One of the things that is good for you is, it helps you establish you as a thought leader. It helps you streamline your process, but also you get leads. When somebody uses your template, you get a notification saying this person has used your template. With that, you're able to reach back at that person and say, hey, you used my template, here's something else I'm offering. So it's a good conversation starter, or it's a good business starter in most cases as well. So I think we covered all the features in somewhat depth, but I'm sure there are a lot of small things and small features that you will explore, you will discover as you explore Xtensio. But let's go back to our dashboard. Before we wrap up, I want to show you some of the management capabilities and organizational capabilities Xtensio has to offer. So back on our dashboard, we have one folder, and this folder, and I go into it, it's a private folder, meaning I have access to this folder as of now. I can add people to this folder. So see, these are some of my team members, so I can just with one click invite them to collaborate on the folios under this folder. But I can also set this folder to be team visible. When I make it team visible, all my team members automatically have access to everything under this folder. This is valuable in different scenarios. For example, some company wiki pages, some company fact sheets, one-pagers, employee handbooks, maybe checklist for employee onboarding, etc. So you can create a new folder, and you can also place templates inside those folders as well. You create a new folder, give it a name, you decide if it's private or team visible, and then if it's private, then you can also add people to it as well. And so that way people are able to collaborate on multiple documents under a project automatically. So as new things are added to this folder, they will always have access. So you don't need to do back and forth. You don't need to invite people over and over again for multiple things. Maybe it's just here's client A and everything we're doing with the client. And also a lot of people actually use Xtensio as a client portal. So you create the portal, my clients.xtensio.com or my company.xtensio.com, and then you create a folder for each client and then add, let's actually do it, client number 1. And then I'm going to call it private. And now we're in that environment, and now I can add my client here so they always have access to everything we're doing with and for them. And now like I can create new folios using my own templates or Xtensio templates here, or I can take any existing folio that I have and also add it to this workspace as well. It's very flexible because you're basically tagging a folio in multiple workspaces. In this case, well, in most cases, I start with my own ideation in a private document, which lives in a private folder. Then when I'm ready to collaborate, then it goes into a folder that other people have access to. So we iterate on it and bring it to a workable state. And then, maybe it goes into a deliverables folder or an archive folder, which is accessible by the people who will need it for the amount of time they will need it. This is a great way to make sure that everybody has access to everything automatically. A little bit of note on people management on Xtensio. Everybody gets their own dashboard. So when you add your team members, everybody gets their own dashboard. And they can create their own private folders, or they can be a part of other folders, may that be privately shared or team visible. But as the team owner, if somebody leaves the company and if you need to remove them, when you remove somebody from Xtensio, their content is transferred to the owner. So everything that is done in your workspace belongs to your workspace. So if anybody is no longer part of your organization, their work never gets lost. So this is also a great way to make sure that people don't leave with your content. And if they leave your company, your content stays with you forever. When a little bit note also on deleting stuff. On Xtensio, when you delete something, it goes into trash, and it lives in trash for up to a year, depending on your plan. And then you're able to recover these deleted folios if you need to. So as you can see, or you can empty your trash here too. All right, let's go back home. And just a little small note again for more information on Xtensio. As you can see, this is a very flexible and versatile platform. It will help you do a lot. Usually a good starting point is starting with 1 or 2 small use cases. I need to create a case study, or we need to put together a proposal. My company needs a capability statement. You'll find good templates for any business case. And you may be a founder, you may be a designer, a project manager, a product manager, HR person, a PR person, sales and marketing person. There are tools for you for each team, but over time you'll probably see that this not only makes your job better, but it also helps you communicate better between different teams. May those teams be one person or larger organization with different access levels, with different workspaces and with different folders. You're really enabling remote collaboration for Xtensio and with Xtensio. As always, I like to finish by saying that we really appreciate you trying it out, and I want to emphasize that we're available in many different ways. I make myself available as much as I can, as promptly as I can to all my users. You can reach us at help@xtensio.com. Help documents are your friends, including videos. We are constantly adding new videos on YouTube, so you can subscribe there too. And the chat bubble here. You can ask anything, and we do our best to answer you as promptly as possible. We are a remote team. Xtensio is all over the world, so usually there's somebody to answer your needs. And so with being remote, we understand all these other companies who are trying to adapt to the new world, adapt to the new ways of working. We know that there are hundreds of tools we're using. We know that we're divided, our attention is divided into million pieces, and we all wear multiple hats at this point. So it's nobody's is responsible only for one thing. What Xtensio does best is, if you're like us and wearing multiple hats, Xtensio is definitely going to make your work easier and help you make a better impression on anybody you're working with, may that be an internal teammate or an investor or a client or a potential client. So any questions, please let us know. We're always happy to jump on another call and tailor this demo in a way that helps you get the most out of Xtensio for your business. Thank you for your time. This has been a longer one, but I'm glad you stayed on. Thanks.